Out of the way, you.
Picture it. You go to your preferred video game retailer, looking for nothing in particular, just wanting to peruse their wares. Then, out of the corner of your eye, a seemingly inconspicuous cover art catches your attention. You've never heard of this title before, nor have you heard anyone really talk about it. You decide, why not? Then buy it and take it home. Little do you know that you just gained a seemingly insignificant moment that you will store in your mind for years to come from the time that you picked up your most favorite game of all time. Does this make any sense? Think of it like when you discover a new band and you've never heard it before and then you shove it down the throats of all your friends. And they turn to look at you and say, yeah, we've heard of Tool. You're not special, dumbass. That was me! I was that guy! Just replace the word friends with the internet and the exact same scenario but for The World Ends With You. First, let me give you a little backstory on The World Ends With You. It was originally released in 2008 for the DS, and I picked up that cartridge and it never left my system until it was 100% completed. For someone with most likely undiagnosed ADHD, that was huge. This game utilized every aspect of the DS. The touchscreen, the dual screen, the microphone, online capabilities. Even not playing a game was an aspect of playing the game. Nobody did that that I'm aware of. This game, made by Square Enix, took risks and it paid off. It blew me away. It was a breath of fresh air. The only negative part about The World Ends With You is that it ended. The story had a conclusion with no hopes of a sequel. That was until 2012 when they re-released the title on the Apple Store called The World Ends With You Solo Remix. Needing that fixed, I bought it as soon as it dropped. Was it as good on the iPad? No, but that's because gameplay needed to change for the limitations of a single screen. And imagine my pure elation when I got to the end of the game for like the nth time and I saw a scene that was never in the original before. Another 7 days. I lost my goddamn mind. Knowing that this series was finally getting a continuation that it rightfully deserved filled me with unimaginable joy. But years passed and nothing directly mentioning the sequel was ever released. A cameo here, a re-release of the original here, an anime adaptation there, but still, no sequel. Then, on November 23rd, 2020, it finally happened. Nintendo announced Neo The World Ends With You, and the silence was finally broken. If you played the first The World Ends With You, the initial premise is still the same. You're dead! And now you gotta fight for another chance at life.
Do you want to play a game?
Since this installment is on a completely new system, the gameplay controls have a different layout, but the battle screen is just as chaotic. Smashing buttons and running around, waiting for your pins to reload, all while making sure you give all your partners equal attention, making sure that everything's perfectly balanced. I cannot stress this enough, customization for your characters is critical for party sustainability. From the food you eat to the clothes you wear, and most importantly, your flair. You're gonna be drowning in so many pins, you're gonna walk down the street and people are gonna wonder when you're gonna start your shift at the TGI Fridays. Some of your supporting characters also have unique abilities, like being able to remind people to do their job. Hey, I have that ability. Or diving into people's minds and reading their thoughts. Let's be real though, if you ever read the comment section of a YouTube video, that's like the worst power to have. I love this art style, and really, and I can't explain why, it's all about the thick outlines. Pantene Stocking, thick outlines. Powerpuff Girls, thick outlines. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, thick outlines. I don't know what it is about it, but I am a sucker for that style. Switching to the 3D plane, you're able to explore more of your environment, squeezing into every nook and cranny. Looking for side quests or special piggies. If you like the way of exploration in games such as Persona 5, it's really not all that different. Also, like Persona, you get those sweet, sexy social links. As far as I can tell, you can't wife any of them, but that hasn't stopped the neat community before. The music for this game is spot on. Some of the tunes are just remixes of the original tracks, but why fix something that ain't broke? Don't get me wrong, the new ones are pretty good too. While most of the audio is great, some of the dialogue can be kinda cringe.
How do you do, fellow kids?
But other parts can just be downright mean.
Based on that uncontrolled outburst, I suspect his tears were less tied to one emotion and were more the embodiment of a crippling existential crisis.
Damn!
And I take that personally. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was a little bit conflicted making this review. I was afraid my judgment would be clouded by my love of the original. I was worried that even if the game was bad, I was gonna say I liked it because that's what I would have wanted to believe regardless of how possibly a crapshoot this game could have been. But the more I played, I actually didn't want to stop. And I think that speaks of how good of a game is. The replayability. Sure, it has its flaws, like the repetitiveness from grinding to earn more money to finally buy those hot blue pumps that you saw at the natural puppy store, but I really don't mind that. It's usually more rewarding than punishing. Although it does have that option if you want. If you figure yourself a connoisseur of JRPGs, I highly recommend this game. So do yourself a favor, sneak back into your local retailer and pick it up. Neo: The World Ends With You, past its surface level cringe, is a multi-layered complex tale filled with both amazing art, music, gameplay, and a story just dark enough for the older audiences without getting too depressing.
Later, loser.